You see the headlines every single year, right? Some IIM student lands a crazy massive salary. But what's really going on behind all that hype? We're going to break down what those numbers actually mean for your career, and more importantly, for your bank account. Let's dive in.
And it always starts with this number, doesn't it? 1 crore. It's the number that grabs all the headlines, the number that fuels a million aspirations. I mean, think back to 2006, when that first 1 crore package hit the news. It was an absolute media storm. It became the symbol of making it big.
But here's the crazy part. Today, inside the walls of these top B schools, that same 1 crore package, it's not celebrated anymore. In fact, it's often called an infamous incident. So why the change? Well, because it sets up this totally unrealistic expectation. The truth is, hardly anyone actually gets that package, and the whole IIM journey is way, way more complicated than just one flashy number.
Okay, so the very first thing we have to get straight is this. Not all IIMs are the same. Not even close. That IIM brand can mean wildly different things depending on which campus you're talking about. And this is what we call the Great IIM Divide.
So you've got over 20 IIMs out there? The easiest way to think about them is in 3 simple tiers. First up, you have the old IIMs. These are the OGs, the original powerhouses. You know, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, the ones people call the Blackie schools. Then you've got the new IIMs, which popped up between 2010 and 2015. And last, you have the baby IIMs, which are all the ones founded after 2015.
And this is where it gets real. Look at this gap in what people actually earn. An IIM Ahmedabad grad, they're pulling in an average of 35 lakhs. Now, compare that to a new IIM like Trichy, that drops to 19 lakhs. And then a baby IIM like Bodh Gaya, we're talking 13 lakhs. I mean, think about that. They're all IIMs, but the grad from a newer IIM is making less than half of what someone from an old IIM makes. That right there is the divide in action.
But listen, salary is only one side of the coin. To really figure out if an IIM degree is worth it, we've got to look at the cost. And trust me, the tuition fee is just the tip of the iceberg.
So you've got the fees, right? For a top IIM, that can be up to 27.5 lakhs. Then you have to add on all the other stuff, new laptop, travel, books. But the biggest cost, the one almost everyone forgets, is something called opportunity cost. That's the salary you're not earning for the 2 years you're in school. So if you were making, say, 10 lakhs a year, that's a 20 lakh hit you have to add to your total investment. That's huge.
Okay, so now that we have a real sense of the salary and the true cost, we can finally calculate the most important thing of all, your return on investment, your ROI. This is the number that tells you if this whole MBA thing is actually a smart move for your finances.
And the way we measure that ROI is with a super simple idea called the recovery period. All it is the time it takes for you to earn back every single rupee you invested. That's the fees plus the salary you gave up using your new post-MBA salary.
And when you look at it this way, the difference is just wow. Someone from a top IIM, even with a total cost of around 47 lakhs, their 35 lakh salary means they make all that money back in less than a year and a half. That's amazing. But now look at the baby IIM graduate. With a 13 lakh salary and a 29 lakh investment, it's going to take them more than 2.5 years just to get back to zero.
So here's a really solid rule of thumb for you to remember. If your recovery period is looking like it's going to be more than 3 years, you really need to ask yourself if that MBA is the right financial decision. I mean, think about it. After 3 whole years, you're only just starting to break even. And that's before you even think about taxes or, just living.
All right, let's talk about the biggest, most powerful marketing claim in the entire MBA universe, 100% placements. It sounds perfect, right? But the secret, as always, is in how they're actually counting. So picture a batch of 100 students. You'll have a few who genuinely opt out, maybe to join a family business or start their own thing. That's fine. But what happens to the students who just don't get a job? Well, a lot of schools will get them to sign a form saying they've opted out of the placement process. See the trick? Suddenly, the total number of students looking for a job is smaller, and poof, the report can claim 100% of those students got placed. It's a numbers game.
So, with all these confusing numbers, misleading claims, and hidden costs, how on earth are you supposed to figure out what's real and make a smart decision for yourself?
Let's be honest. The school's marketing department isn't going to give you the whole story. The professors probably don't even know it. And the placement committee? Definitely not. So, who's left?
Where do you find the actual truth?
It's the alumni. They are the single best source of ground truth. They've been through it all, and they have no incentive to sell you some fantasy. But, and this is so important, you can't just talk to one person. You have to talk to the person who landed that massive package, and you have to talk to the person who had a really tough time finding a job. You need both sides of the story to see the complete picture.
So before you sign on that dotted line for any offer, here's your action plan. A simple 3-step guide. Number 1, get on LinkedIn. Find alumni and get the real story from them. Number 2, sit down and calculate your total true cost. Don't forget that opportunity cost. And number 3, figure out what your personal recovery period will be. You have to make this decision based on facts and awareness, not just on a dream.
Look, at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one idea. So many aspiring students get fixated on the size of the student loan. But the real question, the one that will truly define the value of your MBA, is much simpler. You've definitely calculated the loan, but have you calculated your break-even point?